All right, guys, welcome back to the Imaxit YouTube platform. I'm your host, JD. If you're new, please do smash that like button, share, and definitely subscribe. If you're a member of the channel, bless up to you. And how to become a member, please do click the join button. Then YouTube will help you along the process to get that completed. All right, so as you saw by the title, what does this means for Kaheim Dixon? So let me get straight to the point. Kaheim Dixon made the bench yesterday for Charlton. We're going to break down the competition, what took place in the game, and what stage he's at now. The reason for that is due to the fact that the coach does not know the team. So over time, the coach will actually try to break down the team, and some people will get left by the wayside. So we want to find out if, in your take and my take, he could be one of them in the team after all said and done. Remember, this is a position that he plays, which is wing forward and striker, that is filled in the Jamaica team. You have Jamal Lowe, Mikel Antonio, Shamar Nicholson, Whisper, Bailey, Damara Gray, and a plethora of other individuals fighting for the same spot. So based on what I'm going to break down here, let me know your thoughts if you think that going forward he is going to be one of them under the tutelage of Mr. Mcclaren. All right, so as you saw there, that is the one on the screen there. Let me scroll over to give you the competition and give you some details that we had from the last time covering this competition, because we did it the entire year last season. All right, yes. So anyways, the EFL trophy they played in. What is the EFL trophy? As you saw here, the English Football League trophy, currently known as Bristol Steel Motors Trophy for sponsorship reasons, is an annual English Association football knockout competition open to all clubs in levels 3 and 4 of the English football pyramid, EFL League 1 and EFL League 2, with the addition of 16 under 21s team from the Premier League and Championship club since 2016 to 2017 season. So now you know the level of the actual competition right there. All right, so he was just signed to Charlton, as you guys know, and they brought out a letter and like breaking down the player where he's at this point, and I thought that they did a very good job. They did a very good job breaking down what the player does from what he doesn't do, what he does well from what he doesn't do well at this point. All right, yes, I thought that they did a good job, and for me, I was pleased to see him on a part of the actual conversation, because I know what the EFL trophy is about. I documented a player last season and asking if he should make the national team, and you guys gave me a lot of pushback. So I'm loving to see what your reaction will be on this one. All right, so anyways, let me pull it up right here. I'm trying to go for it just to show you. All right, so let me go through the details of the game itself to show you what I got from the game. So this one, Charlton ran into a 2-0 lead. As you could see, 30 minutes on the clock. The first one was in the 24th minute, and the second one was in the 30th minute. All right, yes, because he was not a starter. He was a part of the bench. All right, so I was saying, let me see when it reaches 60 or 70 what they're looking for, and let me see if when they do get a goal at that time, if the opponent gets a goal, if they're going to divert what they're doing. I want to see the importance, because you can't just judge. What I'm trying to say is to judge where he's at in the development there is to see when the needs are higher, what they are going to do. All right, remember, he just came in, so we know that he's not going to be the overall savior once, but we still want to see if they're going to call on him and such. All right, so the penalty for Lundulu came in the 44th minute, and then now they are making changes now. So I'm looking at all the changes as you saw here. The 52nd minute a change, the 67th minute a change, and the 67th minute a change. All right, so I was saying, all right, then I think he must come on now. And what kind of messed up my entire breakdown was to say that or other countrymen. As you could see there, Karai Anderson, he had a red card, a second yellow card in the 84th minute. So I thought that that kind of changed their overall breakdown. All right, as to how they would have done their changes. So I don't know if they would have given him 10 minutes or so. I think that that red card kind of influenced it, you know. Yes, because they had made some changes right close to the 70th mark. So you don't want to jump to make one at the 75th. So I was looking at the 82nd, 83rd minute or 84th minute for a change to come, and I thought maximum time when they're gonna give the change, or even a little bit later, they got the red card. So the red card made up their minds at this point, so they can't do any experiment at this point. All right, so it was hard for me to read into it for what level he's at, but I know what level he's not at, and what we know he's not at the starting level for the main team, because this is a lower tier. This is where people evaluate players to see where they are truly at, so they can maybe fit a space for them in the main team. So we know that he's not a starter for the main team at this point. I know that, and it's a little bit away. All right, so he has to work himself up like Mothersill. This is the first time I'm going to call the name of who I was actually talking. All right, Mothersill came into this competition, leaped it up, and then won the entire competition in the end, and that's what guaranteed him a spot in Petersborough team. All right, so I think what I'm looking at, this competition serves for a lot of things. It serves to give them more data on where the player is at. All right, and we can't say he's at anywhere and he does not get any game. All right, so we're going to keep on watching this competition to see how they do it, and if he can even make the bench for the actual team itself. All right, which is the normal League One squad. We're going to wait to see that one, because that's where we can collect more data. The question of the day was, what does this mean for him? I think it means that he can fight for a place in the original roster, which is the League One roster, and if he does get an honor the League One roster, and knowing that he's one of the local guys, I think that can boost his odds of actually making a claim for a sure spot in the national team. All right, but that has to come with more performances and all of those stuffs. I do believe that when everyone is on the roster, it's going to be very tough for him to make it, especially if Macy Greenwood and those guys comes in. I think he could be one of those young kids that gets put out, but still having the possibility to make it in the future. So I would love to hear what you guys say, think of that. All right, I've brought down where I think he's at, which he's not at a starter level in the main team League One. All right, and we show some promise in training, because that's the only reason why they would have put him here, because that means he would have shown some level of promise to even make the EFL level at this point. And what this could have done for him, if he can lit up these leagues, it can give him a true opportunity to gain a start, because gain a place in the national team, because this comes back down to the national team, because I don't think he deserves to make the national team, because he didn't do anything to make the national team. But I think this opportunity that he has here can let him have a chance to make the national team. That's what, and rightfully make it. All right, so nobody can come here and say he did not deserve to make it, and the mathematics and the trend, the all starter stories. All right, yes, I think that this is a good opportunity. If he can do something like Mothersill and go on a good tier of last year and get himself into the main team based off that, I think that would be a beautiful sight for me. But that's just my take. So what does this mean for Kaheim Dixon? You think that the fact that he made a EFL match day list guarantee him to get into the national team, or you want to see more from him, and what it means for his club progression as well? So that was the breakdown, and sorry for Karai Anderson actually got that second yellow card, because that might harm his actual growth in the team itself. So guys, smash the like button, share, and definitely subscribe.